It's all about oil, the choke point that shook the world. The world's most critical oil artery is under strain, and while global markets tremble, the United States is quietly gaining ground. What appears to be a crisis for many nations is turning into a leverage for Washington. And at the heart of this shift lies a simple reality. That is, oil flows shape power. Notably, the Strait of Hormuz, a narrow passage between Iran and Oman, carries nearly 20% of the world's oil supply. And when tanker movements slowed, the global system felt the shock instantly, and this wasn't just another geopolitical flashpoint. It was a direct hit to the world's energy lifeline. But what does this mean for markets, and where does the US stand? Let us break it down. Markets react before diplomacy. As tanker traffic slowed, oil prices surged past $100 per barrel, briefly nearing $116. Fuel costs spiked, shipping grew more expensive, and inflation fears returned almost overnight. Europe and Asia, heavily reliant on Middle East oil, felt the impact first, as fragile supply chains faced renewed uncertainty. And amid all this chaos, the question arises that how is the United States responding, and why is it better positioned than most nations? America's energy pivot. Over the past decade, the US has shifted from a vulnerable oil importer to a global energy powerhouse, as domestic oil output exceeds 13.6 million barrels per day. Total energy production tops 24 million barrels daily, and reliance on the Strait of Hormuz has dropped sharply. Imports now come mainly from stable neighbors, while domestic production meets most consumption. Vulnerability has become opportunity, and the rules of energy crisis have been rewritten for Washington. Now let us understand about the transition from global shock to American opportunity. As Middle Eastern supply tightens, global buyers are forced to look elsewhere, and the US is now the obvious choice. American oil, once just one option among many, is in high demand. Europe is rapidly increasing purchases, Asian markets are doubling shipments, US refineries are producing record volumes of gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel. And a global shock has become a strategic advantage, creating opportunities for American producers and reshaping energy trade. Let us understand about the rising prices, which will lead to rising profits. Higher oil prices are more than a challenge, they are a revenue engine. Shale companies earn more per barrel, refineries enjoy wider margins, and the energy sector sees growth in jobs and investment. While import-dependent economies struggle under rising costs, the US economy benefits from export growth, showing how energy independence translates into leverage. Well, now let us shed light on the energy independence as a geopolitical power. Beyond economics, energy strength shapes geopolitics, and by reducing reliance on foreign oil, Washington shields itself from global shocks. Allies dependent on Hormuz are urged to secure their own supply lines, and crisis turns into strategic leverage for the US. Notably, energy independence is no longer just economic, it's a geopolitical tool. Now let us shed light on the hidden cost, which is at home. Americans still feel the pinch as gasoline averages have surged past $3.90 to $4 per gallon, and diesel, vital for shipping and agriculture, is rising even faster. Households bear the brunt, yet export growth and a booming energy sector help offset broader economic efforts. Compared with Europe or Asia, the US remains far better positioned. And now, let us shed light on the long game that American is looking at. Well, if disruption continues, its impact may outlast the immediate crisis. Countries that once relied on Middle Eastern oil may diversify suppliers permanently, creating lasting opportunities for American exports. Even when the strait reopens, global energy markets could look fundamentally different, and with the US emerging stronger in trade and influence. So what is the bigger picture that we are currently looking at? Well, the tensions in the Strait of Hormuz expose vulnerabilities worldwide and drive up cost. For the United States, however, the crisis proves a critical reality, that is, energy strength equals geopolitical leverage. So what was once a weakness, dependence on foreign oil, has become one of America's greatest strategic advantages. And in this moment, that advantage is definitely paying off. That's all for now. Stay tuned to the Savera for more updates. Do like, comment, and subscribe to the channel.